This is the 2018 Mercedes-Benz X-Class, and this specific model I'm driving is an X250D. So it's powered by a 2.3 diesel engine. It's manufactured by Nissan, but it is completely re-engineered by Mercedes so that it's a bit more hard-wearing, because while this is based on a Navara, Mercedes have changed everything. Exterior wise, the only two bits that have crossed over, I think, the antenna and a door switch. Otherwise, every single exterior panel has been changed. They've brought that along to the extent of they've re-engineered the engine. They've forged the engine to make it considerably stronger, because as I said, Navara engines are prone to a certain usage and at certain miles going pop. That's not an issue with the X-Class. Now, when I talk X250, again, powered by the 2.3 litre diesel engine, not a traditional engine setup for Mercedes, but it's useful, it's powerful. It produces 190 brake horsepower and about 450 Newton meters of torque. So while it's not a fast pickup, it can pull a lot of weight. Speaking of the weight it can pull, well, the combined gross amount it can be is 3.3 tons. So not quite the 3.5 that you do get in some competitors, but 3.3 is very good nonetheless. It can take just over a ton of payload weight, so that is very impressive in itself. Excuse the noise, but you join me on the way to one of my gigs. I am putting the X250, the X-Class, I'm putting it through the gig test. This isn't a normal gig though. We are headlining a festival which is being held at Salisbury Cathedral, so it's a bit more of a gig test and potentially a bit of grass, but you know all the equipment fits in the back easy peasy. Now just the drive. See what the fuel economy is like, how's the comfort, how is it as a gigging vehicle. Really load in. I averaged 39.3 miles per gallon over that, which, considering the fact that it was not generally higher speeds, it was lower speeds, well, I call them C roads, very small roads, I think it did really well. So let's start with the outside, because Mercedes have done a very good job of making this a very pretty pickup truck. Utility vehicles are not traditionally the best looking vehicles on the market, but Mercedes have done a superb job of making this look fantastic. The front, very traditional Mercedes. It has the emblem right there, big in front of you, just like you would expect on a big, lavish German wafting machine. Well, this has it too, because this is really a big German wafting machine, even though it might have some Japanese heritage. Exterior wise, you do get three packages, that is pure, progressive and power. Now this is a power. With the power and the styling pack, which is a slight option, you do get a mean looking utility vehicle with diamond cut alloys and a host of other exterior features just to make this stand out from the rest of the crowd. In fact, I would say that put this up against any of its competitors, especially in price, this will always come up looking better on top. And that's just the exterior. Interior wise, Mercedes have made this a super refined, really quiet place to be. With a great sound system, you can option in command navigation, which we all know from their passenger car productions that it's a superb system, while it is, I think, just over a £2,000 option. In the back, from a family point of view, you do have two ISOFIX connectors, so this really does then take that utility to the weekend when you can use it as a family vehicle. In fact, this doesn't even have to be seen as a utility vehicle. This could just be your everyday normal truck, because optioning the 360 surround view cameras, and there's not anything that you can't fit this into. The spaces that you can fit this truck into is insane, because where traditionally I might not be able to see that corner, or I might be a little bit concerned because I can't see where that wheel's going, I don't want to curb it. No issues, because there's a camera that looks everywhere, so you can see everything. To demonstrate what an everyday vehicle the X-Class is, I've turned it into a travel lodge by putting a pop-up tent on the back of it. And it isn't just for looks. Please excuse my withered morning look. This is a bit of an interlude just to say I decided to go camping last night, but see the tent, I decided to go camping on the back of the X-Class. So check this out. From a driving point of view, on the road and on the motorway, well, it drives like a passenger car, which is really surprising to say for what is effectively marketed as a utility vehicle. It's so easy and yet dynamic to drive, but it feels just like a car. And the car essentials continue, as in heated electric seats. You have cruise control unlimited, typical Mercedes there, but then you also have their great command system going on, which, as I said, is an option, but I would say is an essential option because it's so easy and idiot-proof to use, and it's also a superb sat-nav. On a run, you are more likely to see the actual combined fuel economy, which Mercedes say is 35 miles per gallon. You will see that. There's not a lie, you will see 35 miles per gallon. You may even see more. At best, I saw 38 to 39 miles per gallon combined. That is impressive. However, around town, expect more, around 30. Just because, well, it's a heavier truck, getting it up to speed from a stop takes a little bit, and it knocks your fuel economy down each time you do that. While on the run fuel economy is important and is a major factor of what this will probably be used for, equally there are probably people out there that are going to be using this for around town stuff. So knowing the real world fuel economy of this around town is important. Bank holiday is relatively busy out on the road, so this is going to be a true around the town, like city combined fuel economy. And I'm wondering what I can get. I'm expecting high 20s to low 30s. If it gets beyond that, it means traffic wasn't heavy enough.
Sitting in a crowded place, don't know what you're saying. Sad expression on your face, but I don't know what.
So real world, normal amounts of traffic, having to overtake. I suppose the bank holiday was quite a good example of normal driving. 34.4 miles per gallon, which for a truck of this size, considering the type of driving it was, start, stop, overtake, get back to speed, overtake, get back to speed, is pretty good. That's not bad for a vehicle of this size by any means. Off-road, this is a truly exceptional vehicle. I tested it at the launch, put it into some really muddy situations with road tyres, and it didn't struggle. It just stopped, thought about it for a second, and went. It was on road tyres, it was in deep mud, and it didn't even consider getting stuck. Now, while prices do start on the road at around about £34,000 for this, really, when you put the options on it, you're looking at nearer £40,000. But for that £40,000, what do you get? You get a superbly comfortable, reliable, pretty frugal, go anywhere vehicle that looks great. Doesn't sound industrial commercial when it starts up when it's cold. That's a big thing. A lot of pickups sound very commercial when they start up when they're cold because they have commercial engines. Even the Navara does, and somehow when they've re-engineered this, it doesn't have that horrible harsh ticking that the Navara gets. You get a vehicle which anyone can drive because visibility is so good that you would trust to put your family in, that you'd quite happily drive to the south of France and back because it's so easy to do so. My summary is this: Mercedes have made a superb pickup. They've taken the base of a good pickup and they've made it great. They've made it their own, and they've made it truly a comfortable, wafty machine of epic Germanness. And that's why the X-Class, eventually when people start to realise it's worth the extra money, will be worth the extra money. One other thing to bear in mind as well, the V6 is coming, and that is going to have 250 brake horsepower, about 550 newton meters of torque, with prices starting at around £52,000. While that does put it at about £10,000 over the Amarok V6, not of an equal spec, but that's the closest I could find. It's totally worth that money because it's just such a superb truck to drive in everyday life.